Hello, beautiful souls! So today we have a pick a card reading on how can I better love myself. So our first pile is the black tourmaline crystal, our second pile is the lapis lazuli, and our third pile is the citrine. I will see you in a moment with your message. Hello, pile number 1. So if you chose the black tourmaline crystal, then this reading is for you. Pile 1, how can you better love yourself? Pile 1, how can you better love yourself? Okay, so you've gotten a few cards here. So your first card is the 8 of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over. Many things happening at once. Okay, and your second card, the 3 of Earth. The power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, be a team player. And then you've got the Wheel. A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. And then you have 5 of Earth. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. Okay, so for you, pile number 1, I see that you could better love yourself if you learn to rely more on the people you work with. So you have to rely more on other people, particularly in your career path. So if you work in a job and you have a boss or a supervisor, that could mean asking more questions. It could also mean engaging in more teamwork, so allowing your coworkers to work with you on certain projects, asking them for help and support, or even just using their unique skills. So if there's something that you're really good at, you could work on that area and then including other people in areas that they're really good at. If you have your own business or you're starting your own passion, then it might be a good idea to delegate. So that could mean hiring other people to do certain parts of your job, either so like just through a service, so you could just hire certain services, or you could even hire some employees, or rely more on the employees you have if you do have employees. I'm seeing that also more trust in the universe that it will work out will help you better love yourself. So I'm getting the feeling with the advice that's being said here is that you might be overworked or might be feeling exhausted right now, and that the key to that is to continue going after your passions. It will work out, it is going in the right direction, but to allow other people in it as well, because there are certain parts that you don't have to do all on your own, that you can include other people in. Let's see what else. How can pile 1 better love themselves? How can pile 1 better love themselves? Okay, we got transformation. So things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. And leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. So yeah, you can better love yourself by taking more risks in your career as well, or in your passion project. And again, just like I said before, trusting the universe, that's a big one. It even says that right there. So trusting that they have your back, trusting that this is the path for you, trusting that it will all work out. So for a lot of you, maybe it's not even physical people you need to include your projects, but maybe just your spirits and your guides and whatever you believe in believe that they're there and that you can trust them and have faith in them. And this goes with money too. So some of you guys might be afraid of making money or being able to support yourself. Trusting that they are going to give you all the abundance you need and that it is coming to you is a way to better love yourself. Also, engaging in some healing, whatever that might be for you, might help you better to love yourself. So taking time to reflect on your emotions, figure out, why am I feeling this way? Why am I, anxious or nervous or fearful in this situation? Where is this feeling coming from? Connect it to whatever past event it may have started with, and then heal it by going back there and letting that go. And also, thinking about problem solving in the present moment as well. Now that I know where it came from in the past, how can I move forward with this emotion? What is this emotion trying to tell me in the present moment, and what actions can I take to release it? So I'm also seeing that you might be transforming or having some downloads right now, and that it might be a good idea just to do a bit of relaxation, not in your passion projects. I am seeing like a lot of momentum here. Like they do want you to keep working on your passion projects. Don't stop that, but maybe take some time out from some other areas in your life and take a moment to just breathe and relax and take care of yourself, because I'm getting that Spirit sending you a lot of messages right now that you are being very heavily guided, and that you need to take a moment to yourself so that you can digest those, because they are going to help you with the passion project or the career or whatever it is financially that you're working on right now. Yeah, so I just want you to take a moment to yourself. What else do we have? The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. Okay, so maybe some of those people that you're meant to work with are your soul tribe. So maybe to better love yourself, you need to work on letting other people in. So, and the reason why they want you to let other people in is because you never know who your soul tribe is. You don't know who you're going to feel connected to, and unless you take the time to get to know new people and get to know people that you wouldn't have expected to be friends with or to have connections with, they're not going to be able to send you those people who you are connected with if you're not accepting everybody and at least trying everybody, right? So right now you might have certain people in your life and you think like, I know that they're not my soul tribe. I know that they're just here and they're temporary. But maybe Spirit wants to see you accept more from them, because maybe like it could be one or two things. Like either one of those people could be part of your soul tribe and you just haven't given them a chance yet, or because you don't give people a chance, Spirit's not even sending you members of your soul tribe because they already know that you'll just close them off. So you need to be more receptive to other people in your life so that you can connect with those soul tribe people. And those soul tribe people might have a huge part in your purpose. What else? That's too many. Okay. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Right. So we keep getting the same message here that, yeah, you need to trust the universe. You need to trust your guides. You need to trust whatever it is you believe in. You're on the right path. And maybe you need to take a little bit more risks on that path, but you are heading in the right direction. Good luck is coming. You just really need to trust that it's going to work out. You are financially supported. You are going to be abundant. You are going to make it. But you have to trust both your spirits, your guides, and the universe, as well as the people around you who are physically in your life. They all play a part. and they are meant to be there. Okay. Take some messages from here. And you got Treasure Island and Time to Go. Okay, so yeah, it is saying that you're gonna definitely get some abundance, and that what you want is coming for you, and that this is going to be a very prosperous time for you. I'm also hearing that yeah, it's the other people in your life and your connections that are going to help you reach this point, and that you need to appreciate all of them as well, because they're part of you reaching that point. And it's saying to appreciate where you are right now as well. Appreciate the things that you've accomplished. You've accomplished so much at this point. Appreciate appreciate what you've done so far, and appreciate all that you've went through, and appreciate what you've became because of it. You have transformed, you have made changes. You are becoming this better person and this more prosperous person, and your dreams are coming. And definitely feeling that you are going through changes right now, and that taking these risks and heading in the direction of those uncomfortable fears is what's going to really help you right now. And for your final message, I'm just going to take some self-care messages for what specific things you can do to really better take care of yourself. So what kind of self-care does pile number 1 need? What kind of self-care does pile number 1 need? All right, you got meditate. So meditating and connecting with spirit might help you build that trust a little bit more, so that you can kind of see a little bit more clearly where you're supposed to go, or even just gain more reassurance as to where you're supposed to go, so that you can trust the universe and the people around you more. Maybe meditating on certain people's energies would help as well, just to see, can I trust them? Are they meant to be here? It will help you gain a little bit more faith. Ask your spirits and guides, is this a person that I can trust? Is this a person who will help me? And trust that even if they're not a person that can help you or meant to be there, spirit will show you that. You will see the signs that they're not meant to be there, or they're not to be trusted. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. It seems like spirit's telling you that the people in your life and that the people that you are to rely on are there to help, so let them in. What else can pile number 1 do for self-care? All right, we got energy work. And connect with crystals. Okay, so what also might help is doing some chakra work. So you can either do a chakra meditation, or even with the Connect with Crystals cards, connecting with crystals for each chakra. So I think there are certain crystals that are resonating with certain chakras. So you can use like rose quartz for your heart chakra, citrine for your solar plexus chakra, lapis lazuli for your third eye chakra. using crystals to help you with a meditation and clearing up chakras that you might be that might not be balanced could also help you love yourself better. Maybe wearing certain crystals would also help. So you could wear the crystals that you think in your weakest chakra. You could wear a crystal around your neck or on your wrist with that chakra connected to it, or using more crystals in your meditations, as I said, or maybe even using protecting crystals. Like you guys chose the black tourmaline crystal, so that crystal is for protection. So maybe wearing some black tourmaline yourself to protect you from the energy of others would help you. So yeah, maybe that's why you're not wanting to work with others as much. Maybe you pick up on their energy easily, and you would be able to work with them better and more smoothly if you protected yourself. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Pile 1. Bye! Hello, Pile number 2. If you chose the Pyrite Crystal, then this reading is for you. Pile 2. What can you do to better love yourself? What can Pile 2 do to better love themselves? Pile 2 do to better love themselves. So you have Starseed, what lights you up? Beautiful card. What else can Pile 2 do to better love themselves? You have Break the Chain, Healing, Rewriting the Future. And you have Unbound, Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Put that over there. Alright, so Pile 2. So Pile 2, with the Starseed card, in order to better love yourself, I'm hearing that you can start following your life's purpose. So maybe you still need to do some exploration to figure out what that is, but they're asking you to connect with other like-minded individuals. So maybe there's some teamwork at play with what you need to do. So yeah, maybe you need to seek out some connections or people that are also like you or interested in the same things as you. But I'm also hearing, consider what you're interested in. What are you feeling really drawn to right now? What have you been guided to learn more about or seek out? Those are messages too. So, the obvious ones are that maybe we're guided to do a lot of painting or a lot of art stuff, because maybe art has something to do with our career, is going to help us in some way. Or maybe we're being guided to speak out about a particular situation that we've went through, and that has something to do with our career. Maybe we're even just seeing videos on YouTube that we connect with about certain places and certain parts in time, or even certain conspiracy theories. Maybe those have something to do with our path. Spirit is asking you to take the time to do that exploration and to allow yourself to do that, because it's important and it will help you figure out your purpose. They're also guiding you to accept yourself more and to remember that, like, at the heart of all soul missions, and whenever you feel like you need to do, your soul mission is always going to be to light up other people. So the only thing you need to worry about right now is getting yourself into a light heart space and getting yourself into a positive energy space. And in order to do that, what we're seeing with the other cards is that it might be time to do some shadow work, particularly shadow work that has to do with releasing the patterns from both your past lives and your ancestral line. So that's sort of the first mission that most star seeds or people in the spiritual community end up having to do, is to is to break the old patterns that have been repeated on this earth and with the people around us. So in order to do that, you will have to do your own shadow work and your own exploration, but some good ways to do that are, of course, shadow work meditations that will help you sort of go back to the memories of what triggered you in the past and what, you know, how you reacted to certain things, old coping mechanisms that don't work for you anymore. So maybe as a child you went through some hard things and you learned to do certain things to deal with that emotion, but in the present moment those coping mechanisms aren't useful anymore. Maybe there's a coping mechanisms that your parents taught you, and of course that was unintentional by them too, because that's what they were taught, but you have to now learn how to move away from that and say, okay, that's not healthy for me anymore. Maybe it wasn't even healthy for me then. I'm not going to do that anymore. And to do that, it's going to take exploration and meditation and just thinking about it and moving back and thinking, you know, what actions serve me right now, what actions don't. Journaling is another good tool for that. So even just asking the universe, you know, what needs to be healed, what am I fearing? So starting with what your fears are. Those usually connect to old coping mechanisms and old patterns and old beliefs that you're not needed anymore. So you can start with the things that you're afraid of, and that will help you find what needs to be healed. And just, focusing on changing yourself for the future. So now you're going to take up new coping mechanisms and new healthy ways to do things and make new choices. It also usually has a lot to do with forgiving those people. So like I said before, yes, your parents passed down certain coping mechanisms. Maybe they even caused some kind of trauma in your life, and you have to just remember that that is what they were taught through their generations. And it doesn't mean like, you know, like these situations are going to vary a lot. Some of you guys are going to have minor problems with your parents, and some of you guys are going to have like really big problems with your parents. So, you know, if you find them toxic and they're too hard to be around, you know, separation might be a part of that, and I'm not saying not to do that, but you can still forgive yourself even if you do have to make those larger choices, and you can still forgive them and still remember that that's how they were raised, that's what was passed down to them, and they were only working with the tools that they were given. And you're given the opportunity right now to say, am I going to continue the cycle onto the next generation? Or just even if the people around me, if you're choosing not to have children, or am I going to change this right now for the better? And Spirit is guiding you to change that for the better and to heal your family line. And that's a beautiful way to love yourself. To love yourself enough to say that, you know, the way that I was raised. And that's a beautiful way to love yourself. So to love yourself enough to say, I'm free to be healed right now, and to allow yourself to allow in that healing is a beautiful thing. Because you'll be so much happier and so much more free and so much less chained down in the long run when you do that for yourself. So I think allowing yourself to just accept, you know, this happened, this is why this happened, these are the family patterns that my family taught me, this is why I ended up like this, and then just freeing yourself from that and allowing yourself to be separate from that. Like, remember, you're not your coping mechanisms, you're not your choices, you are who you are, and you have the chance now to just look at that and reflect on that in not a good or a bad way, but a neutral way, to say, this is what serves me now and this is what served me then, and I'm thankful for this journey, but I'm going to move forward now. And that's an amazing way to love yourself. I think a lot of people don't, like, a lot of people, you know, when they think of shadow work and stuff like that, they think it's not loving yourself because you have to find the parts that didn't serve you. And some people want to look at it in a bad lens, like, oh my God, I was a horrible person because I did this and that. And it's all the past. You are not your past. You are not what happened. You grew up the way you grew up for a reason. You know, you became who you were for a reason. There's all kinds of different connections and scenarios that had you making the choices you made and doing the things you made. And, you know, everybody's path is different and journey is different. So it's hard. Like, you know, no one else is going to understand it but you. And you had to go through those things for a reason. You had to make those choices for a reason. It's all part of your path and plan. So loving yourself better is sometimes just accepting those past parts of yourself and saying, that's okay. It's okay that happened, and it's okay to want healing now, and you can change without hating who you were. Let's see, what else can Pile 2 do to love themselves better? compile to do to love themselves better. You have come to the edge in reverse. And get one more. Compile do to love themselves better. And you got truth be told in the reverse. Okay, so I'm seeing that the area that needs healing is in your fears. So you might have some unhelpful beliefs that tell you that you're not going to achieve certain things, or that you're not capable of doing certain things that you want to do. And you have these sort of fears that you've created to try to keep yourself safe. Maybe you don't want to take certain risks in your life because you're afraid that you know, something bad's going to happen, or you're not going to achieve what you hope to achieve, or you know, your life's going to be much more difficult if the things go wrong. And that might have to do with your family too. Maybe your family did carry down a belief of, you know, we're never going to have money, or we always have bad luck in this family, or good things don't happen to us. And that might be some of the fears and beliefs that you need to heal in your family line, and you need to let go of for yourself so that you can be more free, so that you can take the risks that you need to take towards the dreams that you have. I'm also seeing that there might be some denial happening either within yourself or with the people around you. So you might not want to accept the truth in your life. So maybe there's certain people that aren't good for you, and you haven't wanted to accept that yet, so you just deny it and you try to make excuses and say, oh, they're fine, it's just this, or oh, it's okay, it's just that, when really you should be taking action towards or away from that. It might even just be with your shadow side, so maybe you've told yourself that certain shadow attributes you don't have, but maybe there is a part of you that does have it. Also, the message with these cards is that just because you have like sort of a unhealthy coping mechanism or a shadow part to you doesn't mean like that's your whole part of you, right? It's helpful to ask yourself, what part of me is feeling scared? What part of me is uncomfortable? What part of me is dealing with these uncomfortable emotions? Because sometimes it's only just a small part of us, right? You know, when we go to work, you know, we're confident in our job, we're good at our career, but all of a sudden we have issues with confidence when it comes to connecting with our coworkers, right? It doesn't have to be all of you. It can just be some of you. Okay, so I'm seeing some areas that might need to be healed for you are in the areas of your fears. So what I'm seeing is that maybe you are experiencing certain fears and anxieties, but like you're pushing them down and pushing them away. So you feel something uncomfortable and you're like, no, I'm not going to focus on that. And maybe you're trying to focus on something positive instead, or even distracting yourself to try to cope with those anxieties. But really, you should be exploring them and actually spending your time to see where they come from. So as I said before, right, get out a journal, ask yourself, why am I experiencing this right now? What does this feeling mean? For one, where did it come from in my past? And how can I change it for the future? What message is it trying to tell me? Because all emotions have a message. They come up for reasons, especially if they come up more than once. They're trying to tell you something. I'm seeing that you might be trying to push a lot of those emotions down, and that you might even be in denial about doing that, or even in denial that you're feeling a certain way. So maybe you're a person who does try to be really positive for everybody else all the time, or even just for yourself. And so you try to tell yourself that you're not experiencing sad or uncomfortable emotions. But the truth is that you are, you just try to push them away a lot. And yeah, so I'm also seeing that you could even just be in denial about certain people and certain relationships in your life, or even certain problems in your life. So maybe certain things come up and you like to tell yourself, oh, it's okay, oh, that's not a big deal, or oh, they're just doing this because of that, and you sort of try to make a lot of excuses or a lot of reasons for why things are the way they are, instead of just dealing with the fact that you are uncomfortable with it, that you don't like it, that you are having feelings that suggest that you don't like that. And Spirit wants you to take more time to explore that. So maybe that is a family pattern on its own for your family. Maybe your family was taught not to argue or not to express opinions that are different, or not to, share your voice a lot. Maybe you were taught as a child that you were to stay quiet, and that, when an older adult or somebody else said something, that you were just to agree with it and to do as they say. And Spirit wants you to share your voice now and start speaking up about, how you're feeling and what you're going through. Or even if you've cut ties with these toxic people and like you're no longer talking with maybe family members or the people that you grew up with, maybe Spirit just kind of wants you to now cultivate that pattern in your own life with your friendships, right? When they bring up something that you don't like or that you're uncomfortable with, or they do something that bothers you, don't be afraid to say that. And also don't be afraid to just explore it for yourself. Even if something doesn't need to be said and it's just like a fleeting emotion, and you know that like, okay, this isn't useful, my friend's hearing this, it's not going to help them, it's not going to help me like build a relationship with them. Instead, maybe I would be better off exploring this first and seeing if it's really something that needs to be discussed, or something that is just being triggered by my childhood or coping mechanisms or something else in my life. And maybe you need to explore that first. I'm seeing that there might be certain risks that you need to take in your life, and you might be sort of trying to hold yourself back in order to play it safe. So again, maybe your family had certain fears or certain beliefs like our family never makes money, our family always has bad luck, and things like that caused you to sort of fear taking those risks, or fear going into the unknown, or fear, or even just like a belief that you're not going to achieve it, so not wanting to put effort into something that's not going to pay off. And that Spirit wants you to spend some time releasing that as well. And these are going to be so different for every single person. Like, shadow work is a very unique and individual thing, so I can't tell you exactly what it's going to be for you, but these are some of the areas that Spirit's telling you to look at. Look at where you're experiencing fear, and look at what you might be denying or trying to hold back. Okay. And for your final message, I'm just going to get some self-care messages. So what kind of self-care could pile 2 do to help them love themselves better? Oh, so you got connect with fire. I love that. So maybe just even having a campfire with your friends and family will help you feel more healed. I don't know why, but like whenever I have a campfire, I just feel so much better and so much more connected with nature. There's something about fire that is just, it's healing on its own. Maybe a fire ritual would also help you. So there are rituals especially to do on the full moon for releasing. So you would release something that you're holding onto. So for example, I release feeling angry about my childhood, and you could write that on a piece of paper, and then you would burn the piece of paper to symbolize that you're trying to release that you're setting the intention to release that. A note with like fire rituals is that it's not going to necessarily get rid of that feeling. It doesn't just like whoosh, it's gone. It's but it does show that you've set the intention to get rid of it. So Spirit's going to send you sort of tips and opportunities to deal with that, because you set that intention, and hopefully then by the end of the month or at whatever time period it takes, you will have then released whatever it is that isn't serving you, because Spirit sees that you've set that intention and will send you the help needed to get that done. What other kind of self-care might pile 2 benefit from? What other kind of self-care might pile 2 benefit from? Oh my goodness, so many cards. Okay, so this is the one that really wanted to pop out. So yeah, as I already talked about, journaling. So yeah, writing on a piece of paper, and even just asking Spirit and saying what needs to be healed, and then writing down whatever comes to mind first. And writing about the feelings and emotions you experience as you're feeling it. Like, why am I feeling this? Why did this come up? What's the message it's trying to send me? where did this come from? What childhood wound or earlier life experience needs to be healed? Okay, and I'm going to take one more from this deck. What other self-care could pile number 2 do to better love themselves? What other self-care could pile 2 do to better love themselves? And you also got the burning bowl ritual. That's hilarious. That's what I just talked about. So maybe you are a fire sign and that just helps you connect with yourself, or your person just really resonates with fire, but you definitely got fire twice. So yeah, definitely write down those messages to your, write down those things that you want to release and you want to get rid of, and set those intentions, especially on a full moon, and release what no longer serves me, and release what no longer serves you, and spirit will definitely help you along with that. Okay, so that's it, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed this message. If you want to know more about self-love, self-care, and boundaries, I also have another video where it's a story that helps you really understand boundaries and self-love in relationships particularly. So if that's something that you resonate with and that's something you want to know more about, then the link is above. But that's it for now. Bye! Okay, pile 3, if you chose the citrine crystal, then this reading is for you. Okay, so what can you do to better love yourself, pile pile 3. I know this deck first. What can you do to better love yourself? Oof. Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So you guys might be experiencing some challenges with the relationships in your life. And in order to better love yourself, you'd be better off to focus on yourself instead of other people. I'm getting that this is sort of the empath group, so you guys might be picking up the energy of others really strongly and their emotions and their feelings, and maybe even mixing it up a little bit with your own emotions. And that spirit wants you just to connect back with you in order to better love yourself. So one thing that I like to do is I like to just sort of pray to spirit or connect with spirit in whatever way you like. Just talk to your angels and say, hey angels, hey guides, or pray, or whatever. It's going to be so different for other people on how they like to connect, and even in a meditation for some of you. And then I like to just say, I take back all energy that is mine, and I send back all energy that is not mine. And then I just visual my energy coming back to me and being ready to be healed by me, and me sending back any energy that I've sort of picked up on during the day. And that always helps me feel very healed. I know the first time I ever did that and I ever said those words out loud, the craziest thing happened. Like I felt like such a weight lifted off my shoulder. I'm like, whoa, like how much have I been holding on to for other people? And it was weird because like cycles in my life changed at that point too. There's like a big transformation with just me saying that the first time. Because I noticed that like even growing up as like a family member, you have like siblings and parents and certain people who go through things, and you don't want them to be hurt, so you kind of like so unconsciously kind of hang on to that for them. So maybe you unintentionally like hide certain experiences from them. So let's say like you're a parent with a child and you like sort of like you don't want to give them all the information on why their dad's not visiting them right now, so you kind of just hold back and tell them only the surface of it, of, oh, daddy's just not available right now, or he'll be available soon, or we're just gonna hang out and have fun, little things like that just like, that's you sort of hanging on to all the pain and the energy that they would feel if they fully knew the truth, but you're hanging on to it for yourself in order to sort of protect them. Sorry, that's just like the easiest way I could explain like the energy of sort of what might happen when you're trying to protect like another person. But even growing up, it was weird. Like I saw like situations like that, and it wasn't necessarily me lying. It was just like I knew I didn't want like certain people to experience certain things, so I sort of unintentionally ended up hanging on to things for them. And that's as much as I can explain about it. Once you do it, you'll understand. You'll be like, whoa, this is what I was hanging on to for them, and this is how this affected me. But yeah, I noticed that the cycles changed too, where like all of a sudden, like a certain toxic experience growing up, like there was a person in my life who didn't see it as clearly as I did, and like I didn't want them to see that because they're going through other things in their life. So I sort of like, I didn't realize it, but I sort of unintentionally created a reality where they wouldn't see the whole situation. They just see it in a more blissful, pleasant way in order to sort of protect them, kind of thing. And like the second I released it back and I said, no, take back all energy that's yours, all of a sudden they were able to see the situation that I wanted them to see so bad clearly, in much clearer eyes, and they were saying the same things as I was. And I realized, like, this whole time, because I was hanging on to energy for them and trying to protect them, I actually wasn't allowing them to see the full situation. So that's an example on more of an energetic level, but it'll apply where it applies for you. So what else can pile 3 do to love themselves? Okay, you got awakening. So energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So you might be going through some downloads or a spiritual awakening right now. And I'm hearing allowing that to happen, just taking the time to be still, to move slowly. Remember, spiritual awakenings are very exhausting. Your body is going through a lot during that time. Spirit is connecting you with a ton of different ways. So sometimes just being still and just giving yourself permission to be instead of do is the best thing you can do for yourself during that time. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like life is just not the same anymore, that might be why. You might be going through a transformation, upgrade, spiritual awakening, whatever label you want to give it. You might be going through that right now, and that's absolutely okay. Take the time to be slow and just be yourself. And then you got Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So taking more time to listen to your spirits and guides and hear their messages might be also another way to love yourself, because they are sending you messages, they are helping you, they are here for you, and allowing them to get those messages in might be really helpful. Also, getting to know your Akashic records could be another way to love yourself. So figuring out what your past lives, what you did in your past lives, how they're affecting you now, and sort of what your purpose and journey is in this life might be helpful to some of you. Yeah, and they're just trying to remind you that right now is a divinely guided point in your life. Like, this is meant to happen. These experiences you're having are meant to be. You are meant to be here right now, and just to accept that what you're going through has a purpose, and that you are exactly where you need to be. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. What else can pile 2 do to better love themselves? Sorry, pile 3 can do to better love themselves. What can pile 3 do to better love themselves? What can pile 3 do to better love themselves? You've got the King of Wands. What can pile 3 do to better love themselves? You've got the 4 of Pentacles. Pile 3 do to better love themselves. And you've got the 8 of Swords in reverse. I'm hearing that you need to really accept this time of stillness. So you might feel like, Spirit has put your life on hold, or that they're not allowing you to move forward and achieve the things that you want to achieve. But really what's happening is Spirit just wants you to really take the time to reconnect with yourself and get to know yourself, and that this is all happening for a reason. Like, even the stillness, even you needing to take time for you is part of your purpose, is part of your path. So don't believe that it's not. They also want to let you know that you're not stuck. You can absolutely move forward with your life if you want to.
With the Four of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you could better love yourself if you focus on saving money, but also not being afraid to spend that money on yourself as well. So buying yourself maybe a nice treat or something just little that's small that's for you. But also, if you're not currently saving money, then creating a savings account or putting money towards something that you want in the future. And with the King of Wands, I'm seeing that you could better love yourself if you take more leadership and more action towards your goals. So maybe there's something that you've sort of thought of recently, there's an idea or there's a passion that you've been thinking of and that you want to create. And Spirit is saying that you could better love yourself if you take action towards that, especially if it involves leadership or leading other people in some way. Spirit really wants to push you towards taking action in that direction.
Okay, let's see what else you have. So you got leg up in reverse. And co-create in reverse.
Okay, so with these cards, I'm seeing that you could better love yourself if you release some of your fears and worries. So I'm seeing that maybe some of your fears and worries are sort of unintentionally creating negative situations for yourself. So uncomfortable things that you don't want to be in. Remember that we're manifesting all the time, so even our fears and worries and the things that we're focusing all of our energy on, that's what's going to create in our life. So maybe you have some toxic cycles in your life, like toxic relationships that don't serve you anymore, or I don't know, the sky's the limit in terms of what it could be, but something that in your life that you don't like and it's sort of repeating itself a lot. It could be because you have sort of negative thoughts and fears, and you're sort of unintentionally creating that to happen over and over again because you're putting so much focus into your worries and fears. Oftentimes this doesn't actually create negative situations, it actually just creates delays in the things that you do really want. So maybe something's just taking a little longer than what you'd like, or just not taking off the ground. And Spirit's just wanting you to release some of those fears. They're also suggesting that you include more people in your project and you receive help. So that might be help from Spirit and your guides, that might be help from physical people in your life, that might mean delegating by hiring some services to help you with your passion project, or even just allowing your coworkers to help you within your career. The message is going to be different for every person. They want you to allow more people to help you in whatever it is that you're doing. So I think that happens actually with a lot of people. It's a big part of the self-love journey, is that we get so used to the idea that we have to do everything for ourselves, and the only way to do anything right is to do it for ourselves. But Spirit wants you to be able to release that and to accept help from others.
And finally, we're going to get some self-care cards to figure out how you can better care for yourself. So you got Be Still, and Write a Gratitude List.
Okay, so with this, with the Be Still card, this is just saying again what I've been saying the whole time, that Spirit wants you to take some time to yourself in order to love yourself more. So just take a moment to be. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to work on anything. Just relax, maybe spend some time in nature or go on a vacation, or even just lay in your bed and just have some time to yourself and just try to clear your thoughts and just be for a moment instead of doing something all the time. Because Spirit does have messages for you. They do have things that they want to say to you, and they just want you to take a time out. Maybe you're overthinking a lot. You're spending a lot of time either thinking, planning, or doing in your life, and they just want you to relax. Of course, continue to spend some time on your passion projects, but maybe spend less time on some of those things that don't matter, particularly if it's overthinking. And with this write a gratitude list card, Spirit also wants you to take a moment just to be thankful for where you are right now. So whatever you're trying to do, wherever you're trying to go, just take a moment to be thankful for the present moment too. Be thankful for what you have right now. It's never as bad as you think it is. There's always something to be grateful for, even if it's just the food you're eating and the water you're drinking. There's always something to appreciate. You're on the internet right now. You're watching this video, so even that is something to appreciate. Yeah, and if you haven't done gratitude journaling before, definitely do that. So that's where you wake up every morning and you just write 3 things you're grateful of. You wouldn't believe the energy shift this gives you when you set yourself into a mindset of being grateful for things every single day. So if you haven't started that, definitely start doing that, and you'll notice how your energy will change, and you'll start manifesting some of the things that you actually do want into your life, and some of the things that would help you and serve you instead of those negative thought patterns. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed that message. And just for those of you guys who do want to know a little bit more about self-love and boundaries and sort of how to have a healthy relationship, I have another video on self-love, and it is actually a story that just came to me to help others understand how to set boundaries better and how to understand and empathize with those people that are sometimes difficult in our lives. So if you're interested, it's above. But that's it for today. Bye.